y'all, let us get started with this wreath. So of course you saw in the beginning of the video I picked this sign for this wreath. Is this not cute? This is one of the new Dollar Tree signs. I'll give you a shot of the barcode there in case you want to try to look it up on the website. Alrighty, so we have that, and of course you're going to need the I've got two here. The 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree. Let's just set this one off to the side since I already have one here. And you're going to need 6 rolls of mesh. Now this mesh, this was some of the Valentine's mesh that I got from Dollar Tree. Some of the regular mesh from Dollar Tree that they carry all the time. I did order this off of their site and have it delivered to my store. Some white mesh that some of y'all sent me for my birthday. And some of this mesh that I got from Dollar General when they started putting out like their springtime stuff. Or Easter stuff. Anyway, this came from Dollar General. But this is my last roll of yellow mesh. So if we could, I would like to have a moment of silence for this roll here. Because he's getting ready to be hacked into pieces. Okay, we're going to make something pretty with him so I don't feel too bad. I just hope that I can find some more sometime. You're also going to need some ribbon, whatever kind of ribbon that you want to use. At the moment, I don't have any wired ribbon that I want to use with this, but I do have all of these that I got at Walmart. I think they're what, like $2.47 a spool, $2.97, something like that. I don't know. The glittery kind cost a little bit more than the plain kind, but I've got all of those, and then I've got a ton of these artificial hibiscus flowers. Some of these came from Dollar Tree. Actually, these here came from Dollar Tree. These red ones came from Walmart. They are 97 cents. I wanted some red ones to kind of go with the red on the parrot here. So that's where I got those. And if you notice on some of these, not all of them have glitter in the center. Let me get to where y'all can see me. Not all of these have glitter in the center. Some of these came with glitter, some did not. I did put glitter in the center of some of them myself. I'll link to my video up here showing how I did that. You're also going to need pipe cleaners. Now for pipe cleaners, I use half a pipe cleaner for every little cluster. Each wreath takes 60 clusters, so you're going to need 30 pipe cleaners. Now the way I figure out how much ribbon I'm going to need is, I cut my ribbon to 1.5 lengths of this mesh. This mesh is 6 inches. I cut my ribbon to 9 inches. Now I like to use a piece of ribbon on every single cluster. And I have 60 clusters per wreath. So if you take 9 inches and multiply that by 60 clusters, you get 540 inches worth of ribbon. Okay, we're going to break that down into feet. Roughly 45 feet of ribbon. Now if you're going to be using one color, you need 45 feet of that one color. If you're using 2 colors, you need 22.5 feet. If you use 3 colors, 15 feet. 4 colors, 11.25 feet. Basically all you're doing is taking that initial 45 feet and just breaking it down by however many colors you want to use. That'll give you how many feet per color that you need. So you're also going to need hot glue, of course, to put your flowers on your wreath and to attach the pipe cleaners to the back of the sign. I'll show you how to do that later. In trying to choose the colors for this, y'all know I always use 6 rolls of mesh per wreath, and I was trying to decide what colors to use, going by, you know, like what's on this birdie bird here. And so the red, and I like the yellow, and I think the purple, because to me it looks like there's just a barely little bit of purple in there. And for the blue, I couldn't really decide because the dark blue and the purple, I don't know. And then the bright blue, I don't want it to clash too much with the blue that's on the edge of this flip-flop. So I'm thinking I'm going to use the dark blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I do have 6 rolls here. Let's get this out of the way. Oh, there's my yellow ribbon. I have some yellow ribbon. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm a-singing. First off, what you're going to do is take a pipe cleaner and we're going to fold it in half and then cut it in half. Now take that half and just fold it in half like that and lay it to the side. Now when I do my clusters, I use 3 pieces of mesh, 1 piece of ribbon. You can use however many pieces of ribbon you want in your clusters. I like to use 1. That's what works for me. You use what works for you. And to start off with, I like to do, let's say I'm using, let's do green and yellow on this one. I'll do like 2 pieces of green to 1 piece of yellow. Let me get this out of the way here. I'm sorry, y'all. So to make my clusters, I take my mesh, and here's the end. I just roll the end over on itself until it makes a little tube. You see how that makes a little tube there? And then I cut it. I don't measure it. I rarely measure mesh. I don't like that. I think it takes too long. So I'm going to use one piece of that. I'm going to roll up another little meshy tube and cut it. Lay that to the side. Now let's do the yellow. Goodbye, yellow mesh. Goodbye, yellow brick road. Okay, roll this up into a tube and then cut it like this. Now we're going to pick what color of ribbon to use, and I think, oh, I don't know. Let's use some of this red. It doesn't really make a difference because once you get, like all your clusters on there, you can't really tell which ribbon goes to what color, so it doesn't really matter. And like I said, I measure my ribbon to 1.5 lengths of my mesh. Cut that there. And then on the end, I cut a little V, a dovetail, whatever you want to call it. I call it a V. V, just like that. Now we're going to put our cluster together. So I'm going to start with this green piece of mesh and just roll it into a tube like that, and then clamp it between my fingers. Now if you have arthritis, or if you just don't like the feel of the mesh between your fingers, if this is hard for you, use a clothespin, or you can go to some place like Sally's Beauty Supply or something like that, where you can get like the big hair clips like hairstylists use. Use one of those big clips like that. They work wonders as well. Okay, see, now I've got all of my mesh clipped between my fingers. Now I'm going to put my ribbon between my fingers as well. And you want the part of the ribbon that you want to see, you want that to be facing the tips of your fingers. Okay, now take that little V that you made with your pipe cleaner. Just put it just like that. Hold this tight. Just bend them down. And then, whoop, you're going to pull your pipe cleaner out. Now, you're going to twist your pipe cleaner 1 or 2 good times. And there is your cluster. There's your cluster. And if you have any little fraying bits there, just clip that off. I really don't even mess with those until I get done with my wreath. And then I go back and like trim off any little stray fraying pieces. Now what you're going to do with your cluster is you're going to put it on your wreath form on the 2 center pieces right here. The outer, here's the lower, and then the 2 middle. Just put it on the 2 middle just like that. And we'll flip it over so y'all can see it. And just twist it a couple times. Whoops, I'm sorry. Twist it a couple times to secure it. Like that. Okay? Oops. Now I know a lot of people say, well, why don't you just layer your mesh on top of each other and then cut it like that and save time? Because with the Dollar Tree mesh, you see how the edge of it can fray a little bit? If you layer it on top of each other and then cut it, the edges are really, really going to grip together and it's going to fray really badly if you do it like that. You can measure it if you want to. Use a rotary cutter. Not everybody has a rotary cutter. Not everybody has a cutting mat. I do, but I know a lot of people out there don't. And if this is your first wreath, I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy supplies that you don't need in case you don't like making them. Then you just wasted your money and you can either sell it or throw it in the trash or whatever. And rotary cutters are not that cheap. So, okay. So that is our first cluster. And now you're just going to do this all the way around your wreath. And you see this bar here and this bar here, this is called a section in between these 2 bars. You're going to put 10 of these clusters in each section. Just alternate your colors however you want it to look. And if it doesn't look good the first time around, don't worry about it. It's just mesh and pipe cleaners. Take it back apart, rearrange it, put it back together until you like it. Don't be intimidated by making wreaths. So I'm going to make 9 more clusters. And I'm going to get this section full. And then I'll come back and I'll show you what it looks like. And then I'll turn you loose and we'll do the whole wreath. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how to put on the flowers and the sign. Alrighty, so I've got this whole section. So like I said, this is a section. I've got this whole section full of mesh and ribbon. And look at how colorful that is. See, it all kind of blends in together. It looks okay. I'm pretty happy with how it's looking so far. I really don't have any rhyme or reason behind like the color of my mesh, how I have it on there. I am trying to keep an eye on my ribbon though, so I don't have like too much orange or too much yellow. you know, all clustered up together. But yep, that's what it's looking like so far. And I think it'll look okay with my sign. You know, I think it'll look all right. So I'm going to continue on with this. It kind of looks like a carnival, doesn't it? Kind of reminds me of really tropical carnival parrots. I like it. But I'm going to continue on with mine. As you can see, this is what the back looks like. Like I said, 10 clusters per little section here. And I'm going to keep working on mine, and you work on yours. And when I'm finished with it, I'll come back and we'll put on the sign and put on some flowers. And here is what I have so far. Yeah, there's some little frayed stragglies on here, but like I said, once you get your sign on and your flowers on and get everything, you know, really in place where you want it to be, then you go back and you can trim off, you know, anything that's sticking out or anything that you don't like. So this is what I have so far. Like I said, I'm going to be using the flip-flop sign, and what I did is it's got a hole in the top of it. So I just took a pipe cleaner, looped it through there, and then gave it a few good twists. And then down here on the bottom, I just used a blob of hot glue, and I always use Gorilla Glue because it's designed to be used for both indoor and outdoor things. And it has some really good staying power. So how you attach your sign is, now that you have your pipe cleaners on here, let's move this down a little bit. You just run this down through the mesh and just fasten it around your wire frame. See, this is like the two pieces where we've been putting our little clusters. I'm just going to wrap the pipe cleaner around that. If I can get it here on the back. I'm sorry for this bad angle, y'all. Just let me grab it and I'll flip it over. Okay, I've got it. I don't got it. I had it. I lost it. Okay, there we go. It's through the two. And then I'm not going to really tighten it down. I'm just going to give it like one twist until I can get the bottom fastened. And then I don't like to fasten things down like really, really tightly until I'm 100% sure that it's in the correct position that I want it. So now I'm going to go through the bottom and just run it up just like that. Just loosely fasten it. And then I'll flip it over and see how it looks. And that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good just like that. So then I will go back and I'll go back and tighten it down, you know, once I get my flowers and everything on it. Now for the flowers, like I said, a lot of these do not come with the glitter in the middle. See, just like that. That's how they came from Walmart. I put the glitter in the middle, and I did link to that video at the beginning. There was a pop-up. I'll also put it in the description box down below. Now all that you're going to do is just place your little flowers everywhere. And I'm sorry, let me move this. So I'm going to use the red and this yellow one. And I got a bunch of them. I think this blue color here, you see, I think that blue color is really pretty. So I'm going to add some of that, maybe like right there. I don't like to glue everything down in the very beginning. I put my flowers and my decorations and stuff everywhere, and then I go back and I glue everything down. And then you can put like just a flower or something right here just to cover that. I don't like that to show. I've seen some on Etsy and whatnot with like the holes showing. I think that's tacky. I don't like it. That's just me. So I'll just stick a flower there. I'm not sure what color I want. Maybe a yellow. I don't know. I don't know what color. But I like the way this is grouped. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down. And the way I do that is I just put a blob of glue on my flower. And just place it kind of down in the mesh like that. And just let it sit for a second. And it will stick. Let's put another blob. It's the blob! Y'all remember that movie? The Blob? It's the Blob. Okay. Just like that. And now we're going to do this one. And that's how you do the rest of your flowers. Just wherever you want to put them. Just stick them down. Oh, let's pull the glue string off. That would be wonderful. Why are you not going where I want you to? It's defiant. Okay, there we go. I'll just let that sit there and harden up. And then I'll move on to my next cluster. But yep, that's all that you do with this. So I hope that y'all liked this one. I liked it. I got to stack more of these signs. I'm going to be making a lot more of these wreaths, I'm sure. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you would, please give this one a thumbs up. click the subscribe button. Check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of those will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye-bye.